And we're back with the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series WCS Spring Challenger Americas Deluxe Easter Edition featuring Nathanius and In Control. And I'll try to make the intro longer next time. Sorry, guys, that was pretty brief. But we've got another Terran versus Protoss coming up and should be different than the last one that we played. Yeah, should be different.
I would say so.
Yeah, I don't think that Pili will warp in 19 Dark Templar into Epic space. But if he does, that will still be awesome.
It would. Epic is just a different kind of Terran. He's going to be a little bit more solid and straight up and more meta. And this time it's PiLiPiLi that's going to be kind of more the cheesy, weird player, but still not nearly as cheesy and weird as Ruff, like nobody can be.
No one really comes close to the way that Ruff plays StarCraft. With that being said, the winner of this match will go up to play against Estrella. So if you, let's see, to avoid mirror matchups, Epic has to win. Then we'll have 2 more Terran versus Protosses.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to have a TvT and a PvP. But we don't really have many TvTs in WCS. So that could be fun. That could be fun. We've got the lobby set up. And we're just getting, we're counting down into it right now. So it's going to be Epic versus Pili. Should be a lot of fun. PiLiPiLi, I think, were you making the joke about it, how Fear Dragon talks about how Pili kind of has these ups and downs where he's practicing a lot and not practicing a lot? Yeah. Because when he comes in, he qualifies occasionally, but then he gets a little bit down on himself, you know?
Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about PiLiPiLi. He's a pleasant guy. He used to stream a whole bunch, and he's very good. But he is kind of one of those wandering gamers. Like, he's not a part of any other professional gaming scene, but sometimes other games just kind of grab his attention. He goes over there. Fear Dragon was telling us he's into bodybuilding right now, and I was like, really? And
wow,
show me a picture. And then
he's a scrawny dude.
Well, that's where a lot of people start, man. And it's because of comments like that. You got to be careful. He's going to come over and put your head between his biceps and squeeze, and you're going to be...
He's going to punch me into retirement?
No head Nathanius.
Ouch. Well, that's one way I could lose weight, so appreciate that. We are loaded in the bottom right. We've got the red Terran player. He is Epic.
And his opponent on the top left-hand side, the blue Protoss. It's Bear Me, PiLiPiLi. Bear Me.
Isn't that the old... Well, there was Panda Bear Me, right? Is this just a meme clan around Panda Bear Me? I don't know.
These guys... It just feels like we have the European half of WCS. It's very serious, professional. These guys have been training for weeks. Then the NA scene starts.
Everybody loosens their collars. You take off the ties.
Come out, they're spraying each other with flowers that squirt water in their red nose, honk honk, and they're just like.
I was like, well, I'm actually trying to do my Easter egg hunt while I'm playing this game. It's a bit of a clown fiesta, as they say in the business. Oh, he's trying to get the pro. Oh,
wow.
Well, wins the boxing match to start off the game. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, but just why? What was the probe doing?
I mean, he was probing. I don't know. Do you want to get probed, Jeff? No.
Not sure that any of this relates.
No one does. Well, if a probe is in your base, that he's probing around. It's an action to search for something, right? So, not everyone wants that. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, but that's not what I was saying. I was saying, why was the probe fighting 2 SCVs anyways?
That is a much better question, Jeff.
That was the only question I asked. You just started answering your own question.
I think that you made a really good pivot there, and I just really, I appreciate that. Stargate, follow-up, PiLiPiLi. As the depth finishes.
Bit of a rough Reaper map, but the Reaper right now is kind of designated itself to looking for a proxy and denying another scout. It's actually not even looking for a proxy. Just kind of like, hey man, if another probe shows up, I'll get that one too.
Yeah. Interesting that. Yeah, that's a fair point to bring up though. Moving out with the Reaper is not really killer on this map. Port Alexander is the worst. It's the worst map for Reapers, right? In this current pool. It's the only map. There is no way to jump into the main from outside without going through the natural.
We're going to get the Maru special, though. The Reaper's going to use its grenade to stun any kind of answer. So usually it's Stalkers, but in this case it's Adepts, as the Hellions will try to run in and get some damage in. But it's only the 2 Hellions, so it's not a huge investment on this. And Adepts are the better answer. They do pretty good damage to those Hellions.
Yeah. It looks like the follow-up is going to be a Mine Drop. So let's see it. Hellions Reapers are going to show up, run right on by.
Not the best reaction time.
Going straight for the main. Looking to get more units, but that is going to expose them to the Oracle. And I think we're going to get 1 probe kill, I think.
Which, again, it just graphically doesn't even show you.
Doesn't even pop up when you only get 1 kill. Okay?
Won't bother.
You got to earn that.
Second Oracle. And Warp Gate's about to finish, so probably more Adepts to join together for this attack thing. It's going to get weird.
You can see it.
Oh, boy.
Like an Adept Oracle is
Yeah.
a thing.
That's what it'll be.
GGM and I used to torture me every day with that. That was the worst. Some fast play. Whoa, okay. The quick pivot into a Viking with a Marauder and concussive shells.
Yep, he's going to repair the heck out of that bunker with 1 Marine in it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was... No, you were doing... That was destined to fail right there. Okay. Good catch with the Stalkers. And the Oracle's just chasing that medevac. I guess the Oracles can't attack if they're over here. He's going to
Buying
drop the
fantastic
probe.
time.
He gets the Phoenix.
Oh, and he even used the energy.
Wow.
They actually got it, which is already kind of weird.
That's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Multiple mines at
there
the
is no
bunker.
wall in either, so you can actually shade in there if you wanted to.
Yeah, this is another weird game, actually.
Well, thankfully it's about to end, I think.
I was expecting it to be a little bit different than this.
Epic, doesn't have much.
No. No, it really doesn't. These Adepts all shade behind, but then they're going to run back over anyway, eat some Widow Mine shots.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what's happening here.
Yeah, I'm
so
not-
he's now shading out of the base.
I don't know. Well, the Viking can deal damage against the Oracles, right? That was a patch that was made, so that's a thing.
So there was an award-winning episode of Outer Limits that aired years ago, and it was... Who's the guy that plays the dude in The Big Lebowski, and why am I blanking on his name? You don't really know names, though.
Is Jeff Bridges?
Jeff Bridges, thank you. Jeff Bridges plays a scientist who discovers a small alien kind of parasitic species that in Mars dust, and they end up growing into a society. But the whole time, the look on his face is he's like watching them build these statues and buildings and develop this whole thing. That's how I feel watching this right now. Like it's interesting. I don't know what's happening. There's 2 Vikings out here.
Yeah.
What were they doing? They're an answer for the 2 Oracles and the Phoenix, which face value makes sense, right? But you also don't really make Vikings answer for Oracles and Phoenix because you don't care about them. You don't invest further into that. You just make a missile turret or 2.
Yeah.
But here they are.
Here they are. Stim and Combat Shield are coming in. This game's turned a little bit more closer to the normal.
Yeah. It's getting normal.
He's not gonna... Okay. I thought he was gonna try to kill the mine with the Oracle. He's gonna do another slow warp in of Stalkers here. Blink is not really...
It's pretty close to being done.
It's close. Oh, he's gonna run straight into this army too. This is awkward. Both players are waiting for their upgrades to finish in terms of like their really important research.
PiLiPiLi's in pretty great shape. Like, he's already got the 3rd base up and going. He doesn't have the most probes. He's not really building that many, but he's got a lot of army. So he's just telling this Terran player, like, if you just get a little bit too aggressive one way or the other, I will jump on you and kill you. Like, look how many corners he's cutting.
Yeah,
There's no follow-up to this. There's no storm. He's now going for...
He's going for
glaze,
armor and
cancels
glaze?
it.
Okay, charge. Thanks.
Let's go with charge.
He starts chronoing the robo, but he's supply locked.
Beyond belief. He's building 4 pylons.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Oh, there's an Oracle out there, so you should probably get some more Vikings out. But you just be happy with these 2. The Terran player's like slow pushing up this ramp.
He baits the mine with that 1 Marine. And there's a hallucinated Phoenix just waiting there to confirm that the army is still moving forward.
Yep. I'd love to see Storm or something. Some kind of
Yeah, he's just
gonna keep at it.
massing gateway units.
Yeah.
He's close to having charge and +1, so there's that.
I like these out here shadowboxing the Terran army. Is really slowing it down. Like if you just pull all the way back, then this army just shows up at your base and it's a little bit tougher to deal with. But if Epic stays out on the map and wants to fight this, he is going to be fighting a beast of a Protoss army.
Yep. There's like a timer on this for how long he can work.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that Epic's on 2 bases. He doesn't have...
He's got a third.
He has the
orbital,
third command center, but...
Not landed anywhere.
Yeah.
Relevant.
It just finished. It's...
There's a lot of Protoss.
He's going to have a very difficult time trying to move that orbital command if this army gets killed.
The Artosis pile
Gets
on.
to the main, and that's going to depower 3 gates. Yes, okay. So production's going to get trimmed a little bit. At the same time, the army is going to start attacking very aggressively forward with the Stalkers. The Zealots are caught behind them. Now they're going to move up. Widow Mines get a couple of shots.
Yeah, and he did send half the army back.
So
If he
that
stays here, he will lose everything.
Oh my God!
He's going to choose not to blink.
And he chooses to stay there and lose everything.
Yeah, it's an honor battle thing. It's like, well, I was the one that's going to take this fight, so I'm not going to run from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't ask you to take a fight that I wouldn't take myself.
Exactly. Warp Prism's going to contribute as well.
Yeah.
Did what it could. And... Well, did the Stalker stay there? Yeah, man. Nobody runs from these fights. I don't disagree with him. Like, blink is just a cowardly choice anyways.
Yep. Only losers blink away.
Yeah.
There's a Liberator.
Literally.
Though, and thankfully he doesn't have enough.
Oracle shows up, and there are no Vikings here, so pretty sick. But it turns out those are Space Marines, so it should just die. Okay.
Or does it? Well, GG. Epic takes game number 1.
I don't know. That was tough.
I thought, yeah, I mean, it looked like Pili was doing what he needed to do, and then he standed and delivered nothing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned that he also didn't know about recall. Like, with PiLiPiLi, there's actually a chance he's...
Oh, yeah. How long has it been?
His army walked back home for the 2 medevacs, so it did a lot of damage. Then it got there, fought the 2 medevacs, and then the other half of his army chased the full Terran army and lost that fight. It was as if he was like, well, let's go lose 2 fights at once.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just did that, and then they...
I
Because he was way ahead. He was doing great. He had 3 bases to the solid 2 base of the Terran.
Yeah, everything
His
looked
army
good.
was way bigger. Upgrades were equal.
Everything looked good, and then 2 medevacs kind of just beat him right there, tragically.
Yep.
King's Cove is the next map. Yeah, I didn't feel particularly strong about Epic's setup, but he was, if you're going to A-move Stalkers into Marauders, the Marauders are going to have a blast. Literally.
Yeah. That's a Robbie meme right there. You just made him so excited.
Yeah. I know Fear Dragon's in the chat, so I'm just trying to do due diligence. Number 1 complaint we've received today is that we aren't Fear Dragon.
And Tasteless.
Yeah, people miss them.
Tasteless, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I've already got 6 messages about we didn't reference boats from Port Alexander, so.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Hoping to see more from Epic. I know that a little bit of this was that he was caught off guard. He was going very low unit count, very fast 3 command center, and then like heavy on the Widow Mines for a big drop. But PiLiPiLi is one of those players where it's not going to be a whole lot of finesse out of him. It's going to be like a lot of units hitting you early and often. And PiLiPiLi could have done a lot of damage, by the way. There's this weird moment where he has like 6 Adepts behind the bunker and Widow Mines, and then he shaded them out of the natural after trying to take a fight at the bunker and getting hit by 4 Widow Mines. It was like...
And he also didn't seem to... He didn't check the ramp at the main, but like that reactor was just naked. There was no wall. He could have just gone into the main base.
It is a rare moment, because usually Protoss just accidentally find their way. They're like, oh, you didn't have it walled in.
Yeah,
fantastic. Or they just sit inside the natural and go, you're just not going to mine until you walk your Widow Mines over here, in which case the Adepts kill them. Or you get a tank out, which is like 3 minutes later. So there's just all kinds of... Like, he had the right idea, but then he bailed on his own idea way too fast. It was very strange.
Very, very strange indeed. And even at the end, it's like, if he hadn't thrown away all those units, even this small paltry army bought him a little bit of time. But he just didn't have anything else behind it. Like, if he has all those Stalkers to shoot while these Zealots are pushing the bio back,
right,
then we've got a ball game on our hands. But
yeah. Okay. Well, we're heading into game number 2 here. As soon as these players slam that go button, they do. And like Nate said, it's King's Cove. We've been seeing a lot of the same maps. It's been nice. This map pool does not really have a bad map. It just has some They're more preferred. It is kind of funny, though, because like yesterday we were making jokes, but it was like the map pool of year 0. This time we haven't
had a game on year 0 today.
I want to say at all.
No.
I felt like there might have been one.
I don't recall seeing one. If it was when you guys were casting and I was blacked out on the couch reading chat. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
As one would. Okay.
All right, in the top left of the Cove of Kings, we have the Red Terran player. He is epic.
From Psystorm Gaming. Alex Damien, that's a cool name too.
Le Epic XDD.
Max Angel, still the coolest name, but
Yeah.
Alex Damien, not bad. We got an Angel and a Damien in the same group, by the way. That's kind of interesting.
Nice.
On Easter of all days.
Well,
Bottom right hand side,
coincidence.
the bodybuilder, the memer. It's PiLiPiLi.
Pavel. Oh yeah, I remember this because he just makes me think about the the guy from Only Me.
What?
It's the guy. It's like who here knows how to disarm this nuclear weapon? Only me. Yes, Dr. Pavel. Only you. This is no. God, I've seen so many remixes of that scene. It's burned into my brain forever.
Remixes of that scene?
Never get it out. Yeah. Oral Knots remix from Bane. You got to check it out.
Okay.
It's fantastic. It will change your life.
All right. Well,
Oh, yeah, there's StarCraft happening, right?
Nexus before Cybernetics Core. Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
SCV scouting. SCV chasing a probe. Also normal stuff you play on that North American server. And then he will drop his orbital, or his command center that turns into an orbital, right now as well.
The dream.
And behind that, the Reaper.
He kept the Reaper pretty close to the chest last game until the Hellions were out.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does that again this game, since he didn't get to punch out the probe, he should be able to deny a little bit of extra follow-up scouting. Most Protoss players, they kind of try to time it out. They wait a little bit. And as soon as they think that the Reaper is not at the natural, they try to run in. Because it is nice to confirm that the Terrans are going for like a factory follow-up or a second barracks.
Hilariously, just attacking the SCV building the command center. Because oftentimes after the Reaper comes out, they add an add-on on the barracks.
Yeah, that
They
too.
have nothing to stop it unless they bring the Reaper all the way back, in which case they just spent money on a Reaper to kill a probe. It's nice. It's nice. Hey.
Ooh la la.
I was worried we'd have all of our buildings inside our base.
What do you think? What's coming out?
It's gonna be
Robo?
Stargate again.
Okay, Stargate.
Yeah. I don't think...
Double Stargate? Void Ray?
No, just the one. Probably an Oracle. Bunch of Adepts again.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I want to be wrong, though. It's gateways.
There's 2 Hellions on the way. Ooh, is he just
more gateways.
gonna... how many gates is he going to go up to? We're at 1 right now.
You know what's funny?
There's 3 on the way.
We went from the worst Reaper map to the absolute best, bar none. And this is the kind of build where if it gets scouted, it doesn't work at all. Like, ever. No way. This Reaper should pop up. And here's the thing, too. He's hiding a gateway out on the map. It's really more just to be a forward warp-in spot. So it's not super hidden. It's just that he wants the faster warp-ins. We have no sound again, by the way.
Yeah.
This keeps happening. But he scouts those gateways. Those gateways at this time are nothing else. You don't look at that and go, well, maybe there's also some tech somewhere. Nah. I mean, even if there is, the tech won't be that impressive.
That would be the concern on my part. It's like, where's the tech? But the Hellions are going to get 4 probes this game. Significantly better than the previous map.
And still live. And that by itself is a problem. So now PiLiPiLi is like, well, if I want to do a gateway timing attack across the map, are there just going to be Hellions constantly showing up?
Yeah, hard to say. And these Hellions coming back would actually help a lot in defending an Adept shade past the bunker. So, let's see it. How much more will he commit to? Because it's not like he can do a whole lot, right? It's 2 bases. But it's still like a macro-y play. With 4 warp gates, he can't really go all in.
I think he actually might wait. No way. I was worried that he would wait for Glaive upgrade. So this is annoying. He gets to just run past, and now he'll do what we were kind of worried he would have done last game. And by worried, I mean it's good for him. Just sit here.
All right, he's going to check the main.
Yeah, sure, check the main, but just mostly sit here. The fight is bad for the Terran. Oh, wow.
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 Did it again.
Okay. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay.
He put himself in a box.
And now he's going to go to blink, add the gases, and take a robo.
Okay.
Well, he's actually up 10 workers right now, which is kind of
So
funny.
that's nice. Yeah.
Did he kill? How many did he kill?
6 SCVs.
Okay. Nate, that's not nothing, is what they would say.
It is. You are correct in control.
Mm-hmm.
It is not nothing. He did not kill nothing.
It is 25 army supply to 8, and he is going blink stalkers. The problem with the blink stalker follow-up is that unless you pair that with, there it is, robotics bay, you'll just die to the first 2 medevacs and everything underneath it. But with disruptors, you'll die to 2 medevacs and everything underneath it, having shot off 1 disruptor shot though, and it's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's the hope, anyways.
Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. Epic's slow and steady style seemed to be just fine. All he had to do is kind of weather the storm of PiLiPiLi last game, and then he just kind of killed him. Did not control super well in the engagements. Let's see if PiLiPiLi can step it up for this round. He's going to put a pylon on the 3rd. He just wants to know if one's ever going to be taken, because building observers is, well, he has 2. They're just kind of, okay, one's going to the front of the natural, and one is watching for drops in the southwest.
Oh my god, it's actually Colossus. Interesting. Seems like a bit of a reach, but okay. I kind of like this move. So the drops picked up and moved out, and what I think happened is he scouted and saw there's no 3rd for the Protoss, so rather than just take 2 medevacs and try to shove them into a Protoss that's literally just sitting on 2 bases, he said, let's just go ahead and defend, because there's a very good chance that, again, there's another attack coming, or even if he does go for the drop, the army's in between the 2 bases, so you get like a little bit of damage done, but the risk is that there's blink and stuff, and you lose the medevacs, and all of a sudden you're way behind. So a very safe and conservative play, which is what Nate pointed out, but I do kind of like it in this case.
Yep. Probe is going to see this SCV start the 3rd command center. And the scan, you see the robotics bay going, you see the research going.
Look at that cannon.
And he just says, I'm going to drop.
Nate, look at that cannon in the main.
What happened with the cannon? Oh, yeah, that's, is that a campaign cannon?
What is that? That's the one that the computer makes, and you're like, what did you think? What are you doing?
I don't know how I feel about that. Did the medevacs fly over that? Does he know that's coming? I don't know.
Yeah, well, if he sees them,
Oh, he's going to fly over this adept anyway. I think there was a delay on the 3rd command center as well, on an adept or something. Slipped in there.
Yeah, not for long though.
All right, here we go. He was.
Oh my god.
All
Look
right.
at the Nexus.
Yeah, get the Nexus.
Sees the Colossus. That's nice.
Oh, he's gonna YOLO. Yep.
Gonna need. I mean,
Spread
the
out.
blink down on low ground with the Colossus will be pretty powerful. So he's got to get out of here pretty quick. And he will. And on his way back, he can munch on that pylon and then gateway if he wants.
Delicious.
Yeah. What is the reaction back at home? He's adding another starport. He's got 2 Vikings in production as is.
Starts up his +1 armor on his engineering bay. Very standard. Just the okay.
Yeah, why not?
Nah, I mean, it's not like the gateway can do anything without power, right?
He saw a blink. He's going to peel off 1 Marine and leave it there and be like, all right, let's see what happens here. But I don't mind this either.
Like, you got a railgun? I don't care. You don't have ammo for it. Well, he's going to go build another pylon, so. The scan. Okay.
He's trying to see if he's safe to do this, and he sees that he's not, but goes for it anyways.
Well.
Huh.
Interesting choice of decisions. All right,
alternative.
He's got Liberators on the ramp, so that should buy him some time there.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, still a 2-base push. He doesn't have the 3rd done, and even if when he finishes it, he's only got 46 probes. So there's not really a big transfer to be made here by PiLiPiLi.
No. He's going to try to muscle his way up here. He's got the 3 Colossus, but everything here for Epic is in position to deal with this. And the 3rd, as Nate just pointed out, is not super, super important. It's not like we're talking 4-base Protoss and the Terran's just going to lose economically. This is a weird choice. He's going to shove everything at this. Vikings getting some good surface area. The Stalkers spin their blink getting to the left side, but they're not actually protecting the Colossus, so they should just about die.
Him down. 1 Colossus dead, 2 Colossus dead, and number 3. And that's
Now-
got to be G to the E to the G E. perhaps?
Yeah.
No? Okay, well, he's going to back off and warp in Zealots, but that was really good for Epic. He loses 10 SCVs, but he's a Terran. He has mules, and he's only down about 5 workers total, so he can just drop the hammer on that base, move out with his army. Resetting the Colossus count is really big.
Yeah, the only concern I have here is that he's not starting up his 2-2, so he's pretty much leveraging this attack needs to win the game, and there's a very good chance that it will.
Yeah, but I don't even... Okay, that's a good catch there on the medevacs. But I don't even think that that's as bad as it sounds, because normally the Protoss player is going for armor upgrades, and the upgrades become a problem because they actually can't kill his Zealots. But since Peli's going for +2 attack and has no armor upgrades, I feel like even with 1-1, there's still a lot Epic can do.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when I just think about, like, why Terrans die because of upgrades, always because, like, 3-3 charge lots.
Right.
Murder a Terran on 1-1, but that's not what we're looking at this game.
Could be worse. You're right.
Yeah. So he's got this observer on this little squadron, and Pili committing really heavily to this heavy stalker play. And he's going to come out here. He's going to catch these. Just stand and deliver. Trade out. Trade out for a few stalkers if you don't think you can get away. Okay.
Well, that blink was pretty immediate, so it only got a couple of the Bioforce. Was never going to get the medevacs there. Dark Shrine about to finish. I think we already saw some missile turrets, but they might have died actually in the clash.
Turret in the natural, and there's no turrets at the third base.
No, there's not a turret at the natural.
No, there's just one at the by the gas.
It's by the gas?
Of Epics.
Oh, you're right.
It's the only turret he has.
Oh my gerb. Disruptors.
Oof. Can he dodge? He's dodging so far. Okay, yep. Nothing done there. And Liberators rain down Hellfire. Of course, the DTs do manage to get into this base anyway. Zealots are targeting the missile turrets.
Yeah, now the DTs are splitting up too.
Yeah.
Or one was at least, I think.
Yeah, I think one went to the bottom. It's still in this range of scan, but he's not moving to kill it, so it will live. Ouch.
Yep.
He's going to need to burn another scan to get
DTs
that.
be doing DT things.
Yep. At some point, he'll notice that there was no turret at the third base, and he'll probably go... Well, I guess at this point, Epic should just build turrets everywhere.
Still no upgrades, by the way. So he's kind of tunnel vision on the all-in as well. And again, like you said, PiLiPiLi is not upgrading almost at all. He's just got the 2 attack upgrade, but...
He might just have enough stalkers to kill him, or at least this part.
Yeah,
jump on him
Liberators without support, though, going to be... Well... Okay. Oh my gerb. That was almost so scary. Does chase him back. This whole time, PiLiPiLi's down in supply. It looks like he's doing so much work.
Yeah.
But then the majority of his army is still just stalkers and these disruptors, and he's not landing the shots. Great harass by him.
Yeah, he's got DTs and Zealots in the main base. Cleaning house on the SCVs.
Yeah, down to 28 SCVs is epic. He's been struggling. And he's not actually remaking the missile turrets either, so I feel like these DTs...
Oh. The DTs might be what saves him here then, I guess? He's going to put a Liberator on this base, try and cover.
Oh, there's a missile turret. Never mind. I apologize. So he's going to counterattack behind this. But I believe that's his whole army. He just lost all Liberators, so... Yeah, I think he's super dead. But still, super dead.
Yeah, Pili's taking a 4th. Okay, well, I really like this for Epic, but the DTs actually sealed the deal on this one. He doesn't have money, he can't build anything, and he's spending all of his scans chasing invisible ninjas in his base. GG! PiLiPiLi ties the series up. 1-1.
Yeah. Okay.
That happened.
That was, yeah, still trying to process a lot of that.
It's an interesting game, right? So he goes for a 2-base, 4-gate pressure, loses
scouted
4 probes to the Hellions. The Adepts get 6 worker kills, and then suicides all of them at the main base ramp.
Follows it up with Blink.
Blink doesn't really do much. Epic has a really good defense at his 3rd from the Colossi, but Epic gets his natural reamed with the first wave of the Dark Templar, and then when he goes out on the map, the DTs get into the main from the Warp Prison with the Zealots. And I guess that's just where it fell apart as well. Our admin would like to point out as well that we have not had a game today on year 0.
Very good. Yeah, the other part of this too was every time Epic tried to harass, he was running into like a scouting adept. He would go over a pylon. So every move he tried to do, other than the initial Hellions, was being spotted immediately as well. So PiLiPiLi getting pretty good information there. Very fortunate for him and reacting well. The engagements were rough, but the concepts there were really good. PiLiPiLi, Blink Stalker, Disruptor, very powerful. Even his Colossus movement was good. The fight just went really poorly. But it also was kind of weird because Epic was like defending just fine, but then grabbed everything and ran down a ramp into Colossus Stalker to win the fight, which he did win because PiLiPiLi took the fight. But those DTs, that was absolutely the answer. Hitting all 3 bases at once.
Yeah.
And it was at the same time as Epic trying to chase the army across the map. So it was the time to do that.
Yeah, really, really well done there. I mean, bit sloppy, messy game 1 and game 2 to a large degree, but he made a couple of the right calls that you would need to do to try to keep a Terran player from being able to push out towards you, and not too shabby. So we've got our next lobby up. New Repugnancy for this Terran versus Protoss, and solid map for scouting with the Reaper at the start. Not too big. Don't have any. I don't know. This map's like one of those very, very vanilla feeling type ones.
Yeah.
There's nothing really like crazy that jumps out at me about New Repugnancy, except there's a decent low ground siege position by like the natural, but I don't think that comes into play in this matchup as much. Like if you do one of those early pushes, you can, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. With these guys, I don't know. You were starting to go down the rabbit hole of like standard meta pushes and stuff like that, and I was like, I'm going to leave you there.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really know that that's. Yeah, we're not.
I feel like every word you spend on this conversation seems to be pretty risky at this time.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't have any idea.
Pili asked for a break, so
He asked for a minute. He asked for 2 minutes a bit ago. How many minutes convert into bits? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. A good question. It's a very good question. So we're going to start as soon as Pili's ready to go. And yeah. Which of these guys do you think could beat Estrella?
Neither. And I'm not even being like a...
No, that's just a...
Estrella is actually one of the top North American players. He's very, very good. He lacks a little bit in consistency, but...
He's head and shoulders above.
He prepared a lot for this group, and he's also not a risky player. Like, it's not... That's where I would start to be like, someone's got a chance. He's straight up just pretty rock solid.
Yeah.
I would have said Epic, but maybe Epic's being thrown off by PiLiPiLi's weird play or whatever. But this is the funny thing, too, and this is what's interesting about WCS and Challenger in general. It gives a stage to these guys that are very good players, and it elevates it. But Epic is... this is going to sound more mean than it is, but he's underperformed for how good I think he is in the WCS Americas system. He's qualified a few times now, I believe, and each time I've kind of seen him play, it's been like he hasn't lost to like the Monster Neeb or Scarlet in my mind. He's lost to like the mid-tier guys that he can beat. So we're still kind of looking for that result from him.
He's one of our younger players as well still, right?
Oh,
I remember Fear Dragon was talking about this. Like last year, I think, was the first year he was eligible to play in WCS stuff. He turned 16, so...
Yeah, I'm definitely not hating him. I'm
hopefully
saying
a bright
I think
future
he's very good.
But no, I agree with you. I coming into this group, it's like, well, you know, if you go off of stuff like MMR, right? Ruff is obviously a huge underdog. PiLiPiLi is like a bit of a shaky player in terms of what we see and expect. Estrella does stand head and shoulders above everybody else, and I really liked Epic for a solid second. But it has been this series he's looked a lot more sloppy than I expect.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. That's no shade to him. It's just, you know, sometimes stuff happens. So he is proxying this game very, very deep. And
well, sometimes the easier groups are more challenging in the sense that Epic goes into this and probably agrees with this. He says, I can beat Ruff, I can beat PiLiPiLi, and it's not like I'm completely outclassed by Estrella and I have no chance, is what he would probably believe. So sometimes those more obtainable groups, the pressure actually mounts. Whereas if you've got an even Scarlet in your group, you're like, well, nobody expects me to win, so I'm just going to give it my all. And the pressure's off of you. The likelihood of success there obviously is less, but you just feel better about it, so you're able to play better. Epic has been making mistakes. His last game he was way ahead, and he loses. And in the first game, PiLiPiLi did everything he could to hand him that game.
Yep.
And Epic tried to hand it back, actually, like a whole bunch.
Yep. So he proxied the one Reaper, immediately floated the barracks back home, And the Reaper took a little bit of damage and backs off. But no probe kills with the Proxy Reaper.
Yeah.
No, it was like gate into Cybercore, so it's not like this was any sort of like build order advantage that he had from it, because the probe scout basically told him, okay, I shouldn't go quick Nexus. And in fact, he even started that robo facility before the Nexus, dealing with the SCV. So I think sometimes you do have proxies as a response to the proxy. So the Reaper is going to look around, just try to make sure there's not like a robo hidden outside his base and whatnot, because that can definitely be a huge problem. A lot of Terrans will follow up these types of strategies with a fast tank or a Cyclone, which can have a really hard time against just like a quick push from the Protoss if you don't have a bunch of Marines, because your barracks is in the air.
Gotta love PiLiPiLi's position, though. He deflects all of that. Like you said, takes no probe loss, which is a big deal if you proxy a Reaper. That is not ideal for the Terran build. And here he is, I was going to say massively supply blocked, but it actually just finished depot, so he's okay. He's going to go for a Hellion drop, it looks like. There's a couple of Widow Mines coming out, so it's 2 Hellions and then 2 Widow Mines, maybe all together in one drop, or some kind of separate attack. With that fast robo, at least in theory, PiLiPiLi is going to have everything he needs to defend this. And then the problem is, we're going up to 3 gateways to join the 1 he had before that. That's a lot of production, and it is PiLiPiLi, so I would not be surprised if he didn't just turn this around for an all-out aggression.
Yeah, I think that's what we've come to expect a bit. He's been trying to force the issue with his Adepts in these games thus far. The Hellion's going to roll into the mains, and the Immortals, the Immortal, and their Prism is all about to finish up. So I think we're going to see that attack come in control, and he's got to get those Marines coming out. He's getting the tank on the way. He wants to move the command center down the ramp. And oh god, the drop is going to get cut!
And it already loses a bunch of health on the medevac, but even just intercepting it here means that if he wants to full circle around ahead to the mineral line, that basically chops the effectiveness in half. If he's just going to come over here to fight with it, I don't think there's an observer. Is there?
Oh my god, he hallucinates probes because you get 4 of them.
That's pretty amazing. Smart play. And if you pick it up, you're actually at risk of just losing this. Yeah, he's not even planting it. Oh my god.
Fascinating. Well, the tank's on the high ground. He's going to need a warp in or 2 if he wants to try and break this.
But he's got a War Prism.
Yep.
You just go into
he's just going to elevate her. Ooh. Well, the Widow Mine actually provides vision for that at least. That siege tank is very exposed.
Yeah.
And there's no bunkers.
There's not a lot of bio, though. So it's the bunkers that was making this tank okay.
Yeah.
And now there's not. It's
PiLiPiLi
is going to rob Epic here.
Right click on the tank. Liberator's going to pop out, and it's just SCV's fighting against this. He's doing his Warp Prism shenanigan micro with just this. And there you go. Liberator's dead.
Wow.
I guess Epic is too.
Yep. He is losing so much. The 1 tank will siege, but there's actually an Immortal in that Warp Prism. Going to deliver right on top of the tank.
Oof.
And then it wasn't being repaired. So even if this does end up getting defended, it's 18 SCVs to 30 probes, and there's no reason for this attack to cease. There's nothing in the bunkers.
Yep.
There's another 1 tank coming out, but there's still an Immortal getting its shields back.
Yep, and it's gonna, that barrier is gonna be available again. There you go. Soaks up a ton more damage. The siege tank is out, and that observer, he has sieged over the base as well. He can see every single thing that Epic has. There's a scan, picks it off.
Shade on top of the tank.
Yeah, shade onto the tank, right-click everything else. Collect, well, I would say ladder points, but collect WCS victory.
Yeah, not bad. Go to that winter match, which is a PvP.
Good focus on the Immortal. The Adept stopped shooting for a second, but he's still not able to mess this up. And it's a medevac microing a landed Viking in control.
Yeah. No, this one's over. I was ready to talk about the next thing. It is a PvP. If Estrella could lose in this group, it would be to a PvP. It's just a weird matchup. Like, he is, again, a super solid PvP player, so it's very unlikely, but PiLiPiLi is pretty good too. Gets the win here against Epic. Advances 2-1 to that winner's match.
All right, so it's going to be PiLiPiLi versus Estrella in the winner's match here for Group B of our WCS Spring NA Challenger, or America's Challenger, excuse me. And that means the lower bracket match. Epic is going to have to go face off against Ruff. His TVT, very, 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 very weird. So yeah, an interesting group so far, to say the least, Jeffrey.
That would be saying the least.
Yeah. But there you have it. So we've got the rest of the group mostly figured out, a winner's match and a lower bracket match. We're going to do the loser match first. That TvT is going to be. Coming up next here is the schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Rough versus Epic coming at you. And then we'll have Estrella versus PiLiPiLi. And, of course, the decider match because, well, that's just the way that this system works. So who is going to get eliminated? Who will get a second chance? Find out after the break. Coming up, it's Rough versus Epic.